Well, you still have a chance to win the Powerball jackpot.
No one matched all 6 numbers last night, and the prize has grown to $1.2 billion. We wanted to know what the best strategies are to win the jackpot.
Can you even try? We already know you're not a big lottery buyer of tickets.
The strategy? It's to buy a ticket. I don't understand.
The way you're delivering this is hilarious.
Let's bring in Dr. Mark Glickman. He's a senior lecturer in the Harvard University Department of Statistics, which is an incredibly, statistics, doctor, are something that I know nothing about. I know.
But how often do you think he gets called? Probably for the Powerball. Meanwhile, he's like, I have all these numbers in my brain that I could talk about.
I know, doctor. You probably have some really interesting work that you've published on things that actually matter to the survival of the human race. But let's talk about the lottery.
Sure, let's do it.
So I've read that and again, I'm going to ask basic math questions, not for myself, but because there are people out there who want to know. So the chances of winning the Powerball are, I've read, 1 in 292 million. So why do people buy $50 worth of tickets? Does that work?
Well, the more you play, the more you increase your odds of winning. So there is something to it. Of course, the amount of the expected return is still very small. So even if you're buying 50 tickets, the likelihood is that you're almost certain still to lose and not win the jackpot. In fact, the chance of even winning $4 by playing is still pretty small. So you should have an attitude going into playing Powerball with the expectation that you're not going to win very much and you're just doing it for fun.
So here's my strategy.
Okay, what's your strategy?
Some people pick, their lucky numbers and birth dates and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me the strategy.
I did. Yeah. I don't know if I shared because you're so judgy about it. But my strategy, my thinking is it's a computer that's like spitting out these numbers. So I let the computer spit out my numbers.
Yeah, I do
my
that.
question to you, are there more numbers or are there certain numbers that come up more frequently?
No, it's entirely random. In fact, what you were saying at the start of saying, well, maybe you can pick birth dates or numbers that are meaningful. In a way, that's exactly the opposite of what you should be doing, because basically, if there are a lot of people that are going to end up using that same strategy of picking essentially, birth dates and like kind of low numbers. The problem is that if that ends up winning, you're going to be splitting the prize fund with a lot more people rather than just having the money to yourself. So it's usually it's an accepted strategy, I think, in people who think about lotteries quite a bit, that you should basically have the numbers picked at random. So really the best way to do that is just to get quick picks.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
And it's not worked out at all for me, but here. I'm going to keep doing it.
So there's a question in here. It says, is there a way to guarantee you'd win the jackpot? How many tickets would you have to buy?
No, but people have tried to do that.
How do guarantee?
Well, not guarantee. Maybe that's too strong of a word, but people have tried to buy like thousands of tickets to see how it comes up. And we'll let you talk.
That's like
it doesn't come up well.
I mean, that's like
the odds are never in your favor.
You're whittling away your descendants' inheritance.
Well, I saw a YouTube guy did it with like scratch-offs. Yeah.
All right, doctor, what do you say?
You could certainly try doing that. I mean, of course, there's the problem that, again, if somebody else is doing the same thing and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, the Powerball jackpot is like 1.2 billion. So in theory, I should buy every single ticket because, there are 292 million possibilities.
Right.
And each ticket costs $2, then you're basically spending about 600 million. So that sounds great because if the jackpot's 1.2 billion and you're only spending 600 million, you're almost guaranteed to win 600 million. The problem is that if other people are doing the same thing, you're going to share the prize money split equally, and then all of a sudden your prize fund vanishes. So generally, it's a very risky proposition to buy lots and lots of tickets, even though that does get you closer to ensuring that you're going to be winning. It's just that you're outlaying a lot of money, and other people might be doing the same thing, and so you'd split the prize fund with a whole bunch of different people.
So then, what advice do you have for people who are going out and buying their tickets before tomorrow night's drawing?
Yeah, I mean, really, the best thing you could do is, be level-headed about it. not buy too many tickets because you're just throwing away your money. And I think, again, the key is to make sure that you pick your picks at random, because that's really what's going to lower the chance that you're going to split the money with other people.
See, that's some good advice. You're buying the journey, the fantasy, the entertaining conversations that you're having. That's what you're buying, and then and then you might win. That's how I like to think of it.
I think about just working really hard and squirreling away my money, and then ultimately being able to retire and live out my dreams that way.
Boring.
It actually feels like it's a little easier than trying to win a lottery.
Yeah, but it's so much more boring. Dr. Mark Glickman,
and you can be, if you end up taking the strategy of, say, playing every once in a while when the jackpot's enormous, then it doesn't feel like, kind of a regular habitual thing. And,
right.
Then it gets to be more fun. And then, you have this fantasy, as you said, where, for at least a night or two, you can sort of imagine.
That's what I do. But that's exactly what I do. Like when it's at this level, I think last time it was like almost, last time it was almost $1 billion. I went down, we have a little convenience store downstairs in our building. And I went and I bought, I think 2 games, one for me, one for my wife. And of course, when the showing was like, hey babe, what time is it showing? And then we're like, I'm not even gonna look because I know I lost.
Oh, see, that's why.
And then
your attitude, and what are you sending into the universe? Sure, that's why, right? Dr. Glickman, it's because of his attitude, not because of the odds. Dr. Mark Glickman, great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Same here. Thank you for having me.